Hi everyone, this is Accounting Nightmare. Welcome to the stream. Welcome Tag, welcome Ezraya, welcome American, and thank you for the host. Alright, we're back with more Ace Attorney investigations. So we're nearing the end of this game. Thank you for the sub, Ezraya. Okay, Edgeworth, you need to somehow stop Mega Man from jumping off the wrong block. Oh, too late. Very good. Thank you very much, Ezraya. Thank you very much. Okay, so yes, we're nearing the end of this game. I don't know if we can finish it today, but we'll make as much progress as we can. Let's see. I was curious how much time I've been playing this game so far in total compared to the other Ace Attorney games, so I'm actually just going to count up my VODs. Just select them all in Windows and it'll tell me what the total time is. Alright, so I finished the first Ace Attorney game in only 9 segments, but that's because I played it for I did some long segments. Like Case 1-5, I played it for 5 hours each segment, which I shouldn't have, because that really ruined my throat. But, okay, so about 36 hours for the first game. Alright, second game. Let's see, that one. Alright, the second game was about 35.5 hours. Alright, it's about even. Third game was a lot of segments, but we did have some short segments there. Deselect that, and that, and that. We had a few other games scattered in there. The Trials and Tribulations was 44 hours. Wow, okay, that was a lot longer. That really was a much longer game than the other two. Alright, this game. How long have we been going for on this game so far? Deselect all the Mario Karts. And that looks right. 37 hours. Okay, so we've been going for longer than the first two games, but we haven't hit as long as the third one. Yep. Hey, County Kittens, welcome. Also that 3DS log feature. Yeah, that's true. I can use that to check how long I've been playing this one for. Alright, let's go back in. Alright, we found out a lot of stuff yesterday. People putting cables for your TV internet accidentally cut the cord doing that. Oh, that sounds really annoying, Azraya. Oh, sorry to hear that. Alright, case 5, we're up to end part 1. We got a decent amount into it, and then I had to finish up the stream. That's right, we're arguing against Lang. Bloody Lang. Alright, so yesterday we found out the truth about the Yatagarasu. The original Yatagarasu was actually... Well, big spoilers if you haven't caught up on the other VODs yet. So you should probably go watch those first. Yeah, the original Yatagarasu was actually 3 people working together. It was Bern Faraday, Callisto Yu, and Detective Bad. Yeah, all 3 of them came together and formed a team, which called themselves the Yatagarasu. That's why it's the 3-legged raven. So they were targeting the smuggling ring specifically. But it turns out Callisto Yu was a spy from the very beginning in some crazy big brain play from the smuggling ring. She worked for the smuggling ring, and she was a spy who helped set up the Yatagarasu from the start to mess them up. And that's why she ended up killing Bern Faraday, and... Yeah, so we've proved that Sheena was Callisto Yu. That Callisto Yu isn't even her real name. We have no idea what her real name is, but we'll just call her Callisto Yu for now. And so we convinced Lang that she's evil as heck, and she's been arrested and all that. But she claims she didn't kill Manny tonight. I don't know who would have if she didn't. Maybe she's just lying to mess with us. But now we're trying to figure out what happened exactly. We're trying to put all the pieces together now, so it's getting pretty interesting. And Lang had a... Lang thinks he's got it all figured out. He blames Franziska von Karma because he's actually not very good at his job. So we have to disprove it and figure out what actually happened. Alright. Border Crossing Part 2. So, Babao's statue was draped in the Atagoras' clothes, then shot over here. Even if you fire the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue attached to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the Primiduck statues didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you? The Primiduck statues didn't sprout wings? Of course they didn't. Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact. It's only crucial because you are under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation. What? You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. Free your mind. Yeah, so we're trying to figure out how the weapons involved in the murders got across the country borders, and that's crucial to proving Francisca's innocence. The Primiduck statues flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time, and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. So Babao's statue was draped in the Atagoras' clothes and then shot over here. But that incredible scene just happened to have been caught on film, resulting in this photo. Ha! And what an incredible scene it was! This photo was taken by a freelance photojournalist, right? Yes, so I hear. And not every photojournalist is known to be honest, right? Especially not the ones that sell photos of spirits and giant creatures to tabloids. Yes, I know what you mean. I've seen those sorts of photos many a time in court. But there have been times when those photos have turned out to be telling the truth. If you had ever stood in a court of law, you would know that it's entirely plausible. Ha! You really believe the stuff you're spewing right now? A courtroom certainly is a strange place, if what you say is true. But there really is something odd about that photo, no matter how you look at it. Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them. But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself would reach the other side, correct? But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing. A lot bigger than... okay, yeah. No, that's not necessarily true. What? What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions. It's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statues themselves, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues. If it wasn't a statue that was tied to the arrows, then what did the crossbow launch? The thing the crossbow launched? Allow me to show you the answer. Well, come on then. Show me what you've got. But I warn you, I'll know when you're just bluffing. Oh, I have to do this right now? Okay. This is what was launched from this Alabastian office with the crossbow. My badge. Take that. This piece of evidence is what was launched from here in Alabast. And what purpose exactly did launching that serve? Because if you're joking, it's not going to be a fit of laughter I'm about to launch into. That was not the kind of launch I was looking for. Ha! I knew you couldn't explain this whole thing in a down-to-earth manner. And let's get our health back. Alright, so now we skip through the text. I wanted to see all the different press statements, so I'll press the other statements first. Free your mind. I mean, that's probably a deliberate Matrix reference, right? Probably. It's gotta be, right? Have we pressed this one? I don't think I need to tell you that the Primiduck statues didn't sprout wings. The statues didn't need wings to fly. Then how would you explain things? I'm almost looking forward to whatever fantastical explanation you come up with. You're a realist after all, aren't you? Of course, and I assure you that my hypothesis is firmly grounded in reality. Ha! Well, all I'm hearing is the fantasy of a desperate man. At times, even reality itself can be a mysterious thing. Even you must admit that. Ha! Do I? If it's so true, then why don't you go ahead and show me? Mr. Edgeworth, I think I understand what went sailing through the air. I suppose that's because you're an expert of things that fly through the air. What did you expect from the second Yatagarasu? Indeed. Now, to show Agent Lang what really went soaring through the air tonight. Alright, so I have to press one of these to get that statement to show up. Hey, Scurvy Kip, welcome! Tonight's the last night you have your PC running until you set it up again after the move. Ah, cool, cool. Good luck with the move then. Hope it goes well for you. I've already seen this dialogue, that's why I'm just mashing through it. This game's got really good music overall. All of the games so far I've played in this series have had just a handful of tracks that I just adore. Okay, need to press this one to get that statement to show up. That moment when I in this case it kind of dragged towards the middle with all the Larry and old bag stuff, but now all these reveals are happening that I really like in this case. Like that moment where I looked at the crossbow and realised, hang on, really? That was a great moment. Save. That's right, he did say he had some other evidence against Francisca, didn't he? We haven't seen that yet, so that's his trump card. Okay. Press this one, and then we show him what the crossbow launched. This is what was launched from this Alabastian office with the crossbow. We still haven't figured out what this guitar pick has to do with anything, but I'm sure that will become clear. They launched the wire. Take that! Take that! Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow. Ha! I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow and then shot into Mr. Cochin's office. All the way from the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy down to the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Alabast's Primiduck statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then, what about Babal's Primiduck statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babal, going in the opposite way of gravity, from the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy up to the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy. How do you explain that? Aha! I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick works. I'm glad you do, Edgeworth, because I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the difference in height and the gravity. Every soundtrack always has those few tracks you have to listen to with headphones, else you'd burn everyone else in the house out on them. Yeah, Europe. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick. I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head. Motion? What motion? This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babao's Primadoc statue. Rotary motion, swinging and bungee? Okay, what are we saying with rotary? What does that mean in this context? I don't think it'll be bungee, so let's go with bungee for now. Get the wrong answers. A bit of bungee action was employed. Bungee action? Are you saying that the wire acted as a bungee cord, and then the statue was hauled up? That's a simple way of putting it, but yes. Ha! Did you think about the weight of the statue at all? That thing is solid gold. Before that thing ever reached the office window, the wire would have snapped. No. But okay, let's consider your idea and say that the wire has the elasticity required. If you fired that kind of wire from a crossbow, the arrow could come sailing back at the person who shot it. Talk about dangerous. He's absolutely right. I thought this sort of thing was common knowledge. I'm having a bit of a hard time right now dealing with a jurisdiction thief who lacks understanding of the most basic things like physics, Mr. Prosecutor. Unfortunately for me, it appears that Agent Lang is correct. I need to calm down and think this through once more. There is only one feasible motion that could have been used to send the statue up. I'm guessing it's rotary motion. I don't quite understand what they mean by that. Let's try swinging and see what happens if we say that. A swinging motion was employed. Ha! You sure thought that one through, Mr. Prosecutor. Because if they used that, the statue would swing right into the building's wall. Oh, he does have me there. For shame! You should sign yourself up for grade school physics for not realising that. No, I'm at a loss for words to that. I need to calm down and think through this once more. Poor Edgeworth. Alright, get our health back. It's magic, clearly. Yup. Magic. Bum, 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 bum. So by rotary motion, do we mean that they set up like a circular sort of thing? And then they you would kind of pull on the wire to move it over? Hey, thanks for subbing, White Noise! 10 months, thank you very much, White Noise, I appreciate it. Rotary. I believe it was done via rotary motion. If the two statues were transported simultaneously... Simultaneously? Get real! The statues will collide somewhere along the way. Did I ever say that there was only one line of wire between the two offices? If you shot an arrow with the two ends of a wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Lang Z says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability. Taking into account the tension difference between the two wires, the top one would sag too much, to the point where the statues would collide anyway. Agent Lang, as you know, the Primadoc statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure, and the fact that the Babao's statue is a hollow replica of the real statue. It would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible. How did the criminals come up with this? Lang Z says, how? Here is what I believe happened. I like Lang, actually, he's pretty funny. You're watching episode 1 on YouTube because you're super late to the party. No worries. Yeah, it's quite a long game, and yeah, all the cases tie together, so it is a good idea to start from episode 1. Miss Yu and her mystery co-conspirator set themselves up in the 2 different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the 2 ends of the wire down on one arrow. Then the 2 of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport the statues. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babao, where it was to be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock, QED. What does QED stand for? Ha! This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I'm not the killer? Not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? The proof is in the pudding, as it were. Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir. I agree that as long as there is no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence. Is there, though? Yeah. Quote urum demonstratum. Ah, okay. Thanks, Scurvy. EDF. Whose emote is that? Oh, that's yours. Nice. That's a good emote. The EDF emote. I like that. One more. This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor. The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a length of wire. I believe that it is right here in this very room. Now then, I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible. I'll pick something wrong first. Take that. The circular belt method was made possible thanks to this part of the room. Ha! Don't you mean impossible, Mr. Prosecutor? I have to say, I agree. Ha ha ha! Even the one in the most precarious situation here agrees with me. I am a von Karma, and as I have a name to uphold, I refuse to accept anything that is less than perfect. I guess I was mistaken. I need to take another good look at this room. There is something here that made it possible to create a circular belt out of wire. Now, let's get our health back. We don't have much health, so I'm being careful. Okay, so hang on. Let me think. What happened with the knives in the end? So the blade got over there somehow. We haven't figured that out. But could this be used in any way? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. We take off the handle. Take off the handle, Edgeworth. Need to see if we can use this knife somehow. See if there's a loop in the blade somewhere, maybe. Because the handle made it over there somehow. Oh wait, yeah, no, the blade made it over, sorry, not the handle. Or did the whole knife make it over? Hang on. We found the knife handle on Sheena, didn't we? So the whole knife would have been sent over. This is all I can think of at the moment. Because this knife is involved somehow. I don't know. Let's point at the knife and see what they say. Bum, 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 bum. I also wonder if the spear is still involved somehow. Let's try the knife. That doesn't look right. That ain't right. We still have the spear in our inventory, don't we? Yeah, it's still involved somehow. I'll point at it and see what happens. Just point at things and see what happens. Maybe that works. Maybe that works. A spear maybe? Question mark. Uh-oh, nope. That's a no. What do we actually got left? We've got the fan. They use the fan? Did they use the ceiling fan? There was a ceiling fan in the other room too. I think it's a ceiling fan. Oh god. Yeah, they looped it around the fan. Because I keep thinking they were looping it around the two plant supports. But they don't really... They couldn't support that much weight. This game's great. Ha! Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again. The last piece to the trick are two pulleys. Precisely. The ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices. The ceiling fans made for the perfect pulley set for the wire to run on. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security. Ha! You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it all out already, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you? The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Alabastian and Babylonis offices, and that the passion flower support stakes could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case is my save file. Bum, 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 bum. Yep. This case is... I like this case. It's just... It's gotten pretty amazing. Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food. Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do? A single point of the finger here and this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now, but to rush in. There is a piece of evidence that will point us to who the mysterious mastermind is. It's me! And this is it. Where's my real dessert? How long do you intend to keep it from me? That piece of evidence isn't satisfying at all. Then stop being so picky with your food. The person who concocted the trick used to smuggle the statues. I should already have the piece of evidence that shows who that is. I just have to present it, no matter what the cost. And reset. Turn yourself in. Francisca gets whipped. Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. Right, I know who I'm thinking of. I just need to figure out what evidence points to him. Well, I know. Yeah, I know. I think I know who it is. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, which piece of evidence? Let's have a look. Bum, 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 bum. What does this actually say? It appears to point to Mr. Cochin. Yeah. Flowers. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, I'm not sure how I point him out. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Tape. Because the car's in the tape. And this is it. Oh, that's not it. Oh. But the car's in the tape and you can see the flags on the... I guess it doesn't prove who's in the car. Maybe I'll try presenting the flowers. God, this music's so good! How about this note? Handwriting matches that of Manny Cochin. He's not the mastermind though, we've already established that. This smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both officers had ceiling fans tells us that the person has very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So as you may have already guessed, the person I am accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. Thus, it can only be you, Quercus Alba. Bum 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 bum. You beat this game and forgot the answer. It's easy to beat these games and forget like the little answers to the specific little questions. Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth? I'm certain of what I am saying, and I'm sure that he is the culprit. Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that? I understand your need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd. Just one thing, huh? The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Save my game again. Yeah, he was here the whole time, just kind of quietly watching. So what was his end goal? There seems to be a lot of effort put into framing Manny Cochin as the leader of the smuggling ring. Was he maybe not involved at all? No, the handwriting matches, so I think they were trying to... yeah. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. A bag. You want us to examine this? Yes, for I believe that by examining it, we will finally have all of our answers. Langzee says, items that become evidence should never have any part overlooked. all evidence related to this case fine and don't need to be examined again. It would appear that I was mistaken. Agent Lang is correct. Most of the evidence has already undergone intense scrutiny. However, there is one piece that has only been partially checked, and that piece, which lies at the heart of the smuggling, is what I should present. After I reload my save. Yeah, I think it's the documents. Just the way it's worded, it appears to point to many... Yeah, it just really suggests that maybe it's a red herring for us. Is that not it? You want us to examine this? No, uh-oh. That's not it. Oh, never mind. Let me think. I have to actually think. I have to actually put in effort. How dare the game ask me to put in effort? Okay, let's have a look, see. The key... I still haven't figured out why the key was left on Manny's body. That's a really weird thing for her to have done. Still the Damascus note. Still don't know what the heck this has to do with anything. Is the German ninja the leader of the smuggling ring? What does samurai dogs have to do with anything? What else we got? The wire. Thingamabob, the tape. Received from Detective Bad. But hang on, where did Bad get this tape from? I forget. Was this the point of everything? Where was this tape hidden away? Was he trying to get this? Yeah, this doesn't look it. It's not the tape. It ain't the tape. Not the tape. Yeah, clearly I don't know where the game's going with this, so let's think. Embassy guide, statue, counterfeit bills. They were all burned up, so we can't really inspect the bills, can we? We just have a little note in our notebook about the bills. It's also wet for some reason. I don't know. Larry couldn't do the early summer rain jab special attack. This was also that Larry couldn't do the early summer rain jab. They were trying to change the law of Steel Samurai. Yeah, that's what everything was for. So, Manny was... Alright, so if Manny Koshin got this guy to come in and steal the statue, so he knew this was the real one. Hang on, which one was the real one? It was this one, wasn't it? But then it got swapped with the other one. Hang on. I've forgotten which one's which. This case is too confusing. Let me just check. Alabaster Primiduck statue. Swapped with a fake from Babao. Okay, yeah, so Manny thought the real one was here, and he was trying to get someone to steal it for some reason. So was he betraying the smuggling ring? Nope, okay. Not so fast. Already tried the documents. That was my first guess, so... The samurai dogs. What do these have to do with anything? Well, Old Bag's already eaten some of these, so we know they're not like poisoned or something. And I'm not looking at Chad just in case there's any hints in there, because I'm still thinking. Fires, a wire. Evidence from KG8. Have we had this translated yet? I mean, surely Detective Bad would have had this translated. Why would we need to inspect this further? Surely he would have followed up on this. I already tried the tape, and that wasn't it. Yeah, it wasn't the card. Alright. Yeah, I'd like a hint, please, chat. I'm overthinking it? Ah, okay. Well, evidence just hasn't been relevant yet. Well, I guess it's a pick then. Well, I don't think the samurai dogs have been relevant either, and neither's that. This hasn't been relevant either. Have I tried being a good prosecutor? Nope. Alright, there's quite a few things I can think of that... All evidence related to this case are fine and don't need to be examined again. Alright. There's quite a few things I can think of that haven't been relevant yet. You think I'd enjoy the Nancy Drew games? Yeah, they do sound pretty good. Okay, and that's been pretty relevant already. Fountain. Spear's been relevant because it helped us figure out that the murder weapon was fake. Yeah, I don't know. I'm at a loss. I'm just kind of trying things randomly. Yeah, like that. Not so fast. My badge. Is it a fake statue? Nope. Okay, what is it? Yeah, just tell me what it is, because I'm actually just trying everything now. I clearly haven't caught the thread that the game wants me to have caught on at this point. Rip this playthrough. We looked at the arrows.
Take that.
Nope. Am I supposed to inspect them? Because I already did that. I suppose this dirt was from when this was stuck in the flower box. I guess that's why only the tip is dirty, huh? Yes. Got some different dialogue from it. I thought these loops were just an eccentric design quirk, but who knew that they were actually arrow fletchings? Sorry. Okay, doesn't seem to be the arrows. What haven't I tried at this point? It's pretty much just try each thing once. I tried that. Passion flowers instead, maybe? Nope. Do you know what the answer is, counting? Yeah. Embassy guide, I guess? Real statue? Let's see, so this was the fake one, wasn't it? Yeah. We tried that one. Let's go the real one. Okay, it's the real statue. Okay, I'm not... Alright, I need to see where this goes. I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Primadox statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primadox himself? I see. Ambassador, we'll be examining that statue now, with or without your permission. Ah, well, that's fun, Canning. Okay. That's right, I wasn't allowed to actually examine this before. That's right. Okay. I forgot we never actually got permission to look at this, only the fake. With his sword drawn like that, there is an aura of valor and bravery around King Primadox. He looks so cool standing like that with the sword stuck in the ground in front of him. Maybe I should try and come up with some cool pose with a shuriken or something. I'm seriously beginning to think that her real goal in life is to become a ninja. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, there isn't anything particularly odd about the sword, right? No, not really. I suppose we should examine a different area of the statue now. Okay, that makes sense. That they kept hinting that everything related to the case has been examined, but I kind of forgot we hadn't actually been able to look at this yet. This guy kind of looks like a steel samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador. I suppose that's possible. Take a look at this area around the base of his neck. It looks like a gap. Hey, you're right. Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret. Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction. What? Hurry up and open it, Miles! Alright, here goes. Wow, it really did open up. Hey, what's this thing that fell out? I believe a more thorough examination of it is required. Wow, the whole thing splits into two. Interesting. Hang on. Handprint? These are Mr. Cochin's fingerprints. The fact that they're on here suggests that this statue once belonged to Babao. So it was smuggled from Babao to Alabast, huh? Wait, we did get to look at this, didn't we? Because we found the handprint. Yeah, we did look at the real statue. Okay. I just didn't, yeah, I'm not sure how I was supposed to figure that out. Why was there a need for them to smuggle it in? So we hadn't actually looked at the fake. Yeah, we looked at the real one, but we didn't look at the fake. Interesting. A shield, huh? There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about it. I think it's supposed to mean that the guy is protecting something. I don't think it's supposed to have that deep of a meaning behind it. In that case, what are we wasting time with this for? Let's look at some other area. Yeah. What in the... is this? Hey, is this what I think it is? It's a plate for making counterfeit bills. Somehow, it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates, and the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabasta to begin with. Wait, okay, this case is confusing me. Sorry. I've got everything backwards. The Primidoc statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretariat, and the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Sheena, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Damas II. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at Damas II and... Then, in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba? Yeah, that's right, I had it backwards. Yes, but we looked at this one before, though. Yeah, we haven't been able to look at the real one. You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country is a mess, and it's all because of you. You're the one who killed Damas too? Answer us. I never thought that you would figure things out to this level. Lang probably just howling for us to look at it. You saw a lucky beard walk by. Very good. Guess what? What? You're gay. Good for you. However, there is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was... Mr. Cochin. Quit screwing around. I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt on to a dead man. If there is one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're the real ringleader, Quercus Alba. It's not good to speak with such subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang. Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but, and is the result of logic and investigation. Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago, you were ready to arrest Miss Von Karma. I don't think we can give such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you? Ha. He loves laughing, doesn't he? It looks like you still don't get why I came back. Excuse me? You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck. From the very beginning, my real target has been you. What? Agent Lang, I demand an explanation. Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning. You did? I knew that this whole incident had been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look around. Ah, so that's why you put on this big show to accuse Francisca of the murder. Wow. Lang with the big brain plays. Hey Shizzle, welcome. A lot has happened. So we convinced Lang that Francisca wasn't guilty by proving how they swapped the statues around, because they set up a pulley system using the ceiling fans. It's kind of amazing. And then we inspected the fake statue and found the plate they were using to make counterfeit bills. So now we're accusing Ambassador Alba of being the ringleader of the whole smuggling ring. And Lang has just revealed that he knew Francisca was innocent the whole time. He was just trying to get us back into this room. So that's pretty cool. Using Francisca as the bait, you were able to gain us entry and investigative rights. Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I doubt the ambassador would have given the okay to poke around. So that's what all this was about. Very well, I will forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth. Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you. You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow, if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, that you would be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic. The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. That's just as it should be in a prosecutor-detective team, right? I don't know about all that. But one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him. Oh, you're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you? Hey, you were the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me. Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need right now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring. Objection! Don't be such a sore loser. If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity. Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence. Grr. Ah, good old evidence. How come Franny hasn't beaten Lang to death yet? That's a good question. I tell you, I knew nothing, really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue. You swapped a real statue that vested in your country the authority to rule for a fake. It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything. It doesn't make sense. Where doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense? Grr. He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us. Has he? The proof that Interpol has been after, which points to this man as the ringleader. If we can somehow find that proof now, then we can see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open? Yes, I can save my game. We're still in ending part 1. What the heck's in ending part 2? The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what, a protector of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. Needless to say, we Von Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory, and by any means necessary. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma, and I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law, and what is justice? And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? All the servers are down? That choice is one I must make by my own hand, here and now. Use the trump card, don't use the trump card. Wonder if this choice matters. Let's save just in case. Ending part 1. How close are we to the end of the game? I actually don't know. The Albus section is kind of stupidly long. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just keep going until I want to stop and have dinner. Use the trump card. There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law, too, crosses into new territory. For what reason were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this. Oh, I wonder what that card is. I've never seen that before in my life. It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates. Oh, is that what it is? This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KG-8 incident 10 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin. Oh, so why do you have such a card in your possession? Because it was hand-delivered to me by a certain great thief, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu gave that to you? Don't talk nonsense, and let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that the card contains directions from the ringleader? It doesn't matter? Ah, okay. I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I was given. What? This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG-8 incident. The KG-8 incident? The card and the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate. Oh, very interesting. I must admit I'm very curious now. Very curious indeed in these case-deciding pieces of evidence you've presented. The prey the Yatagarasu has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man, who has had free reign for 10 long years, to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring to fruition the valiant spirit that was given to me. Wait, what? The valiant spirit? Okay. 1:34 AM, Theatra Neutralis lobby. So, what is this interesting thing that you wanted to show me? I'm gonna go back and see what happens if I choose the other thing. I'm assuming he'll just override me. Yeah. Don't use the trump card. I'm a prosecutor, and I can't allow myself to use evidence such as these. Mr. Edgeworth, if you don't do something, Ambassador Alba is going to get away with it. I know, but... What are you holding back for? The only thing a Von Karma should pursue is the perfect proof. If you really do have what it takes to complete our argument, then there is absolutely no reason not to use it. Yeah. Lang Zi says, the reason people judge people is because people are people. What? What? People weren't born to be chained to the law. Laws were born to protect the people. You're the only one here right now who can put this guy out to pasture. And that is the only way a second or a third generation of Zengfar's people will be born. Can you really still hesitate, knowing the fate of a nation rests in your hands? There is no limit to the law. Okay, so I'm guessing this just puts us back under this path. Okay, so you just get more dialogue if you choose that one. Now we'll skip ahead until we get back to that part. Yeah, he just overrides your choice anyway. He gets peer pressured. I want to fast forward, but I can't. I kind of forgot about them labelling these two bits of evidence as illegal, so that's why I was trying to use them earlier. It's such a complex case, I'm not sure if it's better to play it in like a few huge chunks. That's probably the best way to play it. Just I can't stream all that much of this game at a time, because it gets my voice sore. Too bad these games don't have a high speed mode, yeah. March 15, 1:34 AM, Theatrum Neutralis lobby. So, what is this interesting thing that you wanted to show me? The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence together make for the ultimate hand. And this is where the real meaning behind Detective Bad's words will be realised. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. What you see here is security footage shot just before the KG8 murder occurred. They do have a high-speed mode, sort of. Yeah, you have to have beaten the cases before, and then it lets you fast forward through. From this footage, we know that the card is a directives card from the smuggling ring. Oh, suddenly. This is the section that proves that the card was used to relay an order. I have to think now. It's the stop sign! Take a look at this area. What about that area? My eyes aren't what they used to be, so I can't see what you're pointing at too well. But from what I can see, it doesn't look like it's related to our conversation. It's unrelated? I need to remain calm and take another look at this footage. I'm going to save here, because I'm not going through all that stuff again. Yeah, in the HD trilogy version of the original 3 games, they made it so you could turn on the fast skip, even if you haven't beaten the game yet. So you could still skip through pretty quickly. So that was a good change. What is the vital clue that shows us that the card was used to relay an order? Alright. Used to relay an order. I'm not really sure where he's going with that question. He's holding a knife, he's holding the card. We're going with that he read the card and now he's got a knife because he's carrying out the order? I'm not quite sure where they're going with this. Nope. Hey Atom Andrew, how are you? How's it been going? Pretty good actually. We're near the end of the game, but it's been quite a roller coaster ride actually. It's been quite fun though. A vital clue that shows us the card was used to relay an order. Not sure. Hi, cat. Cat's being cute. I mean, he's holding the card. That doesn't seem like that would be what we have to point out, though. Really? Okay. That seemed too obvious. As you can see, Mr. Cochin is holding the card in his right hand. I see. The killer is indeed holding a card with the exact same design on it. But that card and the one you have, just because they look the same, doesn't mean that they are, does it now? Ah, but there is a very easy way for me to prove that they are, in fact, one and the same. All we have to do is simply take a look at this. The card. According to Detective Bad, Ambassador Alba's directive cards bears the mark of a three-legged raven, or in other words, a Yatagata-su. I suppose this mark was the inspiration for their group's name, the Yatagata-su. Yeah, they love making me say that name, don't they? Blood. Oh, yeah, it's the blood. Well, can we read the writing first? A section of the text has been obscured by blood, but it's clear the writing is Cadopian. According to Detective Bad, Silence CCU is what is written here, along with the method to be used and where she lived. The evil intent displayed in this writing will not go unpunished. That's not the... This dark red blood. Yes, this is your proof. Proof that the orders on this card were played out in that terrible tragedy. The blood belonged to the victim of the KG-8 incident. With a bit of DNA testing, we can very easily verify that as fact. The but why approaches, as opposed to I didn't think to look at the back of the piece of paper and forgot that a clock is a clock. Yes. If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage. This car that passed by in front of the victim's apartment building. Save my game. I'm betting I have to point at the flag on the car. It's an official Cadopian government car. What? Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify the footage. Enhance and magnify. This area of the footage directly links the smuggling ring with Cadopia. Nothing at all. This section will make it all clear to us. You must be very tired, Mr. Edgeworth. If you continue presenting completely irrelevant evidence like this, I'm afraid your investigation may fall apart. Perhaps it is time for you to retire. Wait! Urgh, but I was so sure it was this area. Oh, what happens if we get a game over here? Let's find out. Alright, focus, Miles. The area I should be pointing out is definitely here. Let's see the game over. Yeah, a remaster of these games would be pretty nice. Especially if they do an official translation for investigations too. Now then, if I could ask you to please leave the premises. As you can see for yourself, I am an old man, and I'm a bit tired from all of this. Wait, please! I've made up my mind, so if you could please leave. Agent Lang, a good job to you as well. Although, I don't think we'll ever be meeting again. What? Now then, please respect the request of the ambassador of the Kingdom of Alabast and vacate the premises. Bye. Is this it? That truth was lost for all eternity. I've forgotten what Socratic method means. Alright, so what's the actual answer? I can see, what is this back here? It's a badge. Is that the... What is that? Is that what we're looking for? Nope. No saving of the video game. Well, you could actually save yourself in a no-win situation if it lets you save at points like that. Yeah, I saw the breast pocket as well. I was just trying the badge first because it seemed a little questionable. Yeah, I did. Yeah. The shape of this pocket and the director's card in it. It tells us that without a doubt, this person in this car is Mr. Cochin. Does it though? That's not really any proof. The license plate on the car was also captured by the security camera. And with it, we can easily find out who was sitting in this car on that day, 10 years ago. Which is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day. Okay. You have done well, boy, to make it this far. However, about your claim that I was riding in the car at the time, that's going to be mighty difficult to prove. How so? The Principality of Cadopia no longer exists. So naturally, all records from that time period also no longer exist. That arrogance. What he really means is he's already erased all traces of them. Are we finished here, boy? Wow. Wow. His true form, yeah. With the shiny medals, what the heck? The only weapon I have left to me now is this piece of footage. There must be something here I can use against him. Yeah, it's the medal. But what if it's the pink tie? It's salmon-coloured. Francisco, what do you think about this area? If you have to confer with someone, then it's obviously a useless piece of logic. She's right. The only logic that can trap Ambassador Alba is a perfectly ironclad one. There must be something here in this footage. There must be something that shows that Ambassador Alba was riding in the car that day. No matter how insignificant it may seem, a clue must be hiding here, and I must find it. Alright, I'm just going to go get my health back. Because we don't have much left. Evil wizard with lots of bling. 1. Person A asserts a thesis. 2. Person B decides if the thesis is false, then refutes. Person B gets person A to agree to other theses. Person B then uses the arguments in step 3 to argue against the thesis in step 1. Person B then claims the thesis of step 1 is false and its negation is true. Okay, I'm going to have to really think about that later. Alright, good night, Azrael. Thanks for hanging out. We're still in part 1 of the ending.
Take that.
There's a lot more. It just keeps going. We get to see his power up again though. His transformation sequence. I guess this is his theme, this music. He's quite a jerk, isn't he? That smug look on his face.
Take that.
Take that. What the? Ambassador Alba. Yes, what is it? You were once an army man in the service of Cadopia, and it was you who made the many missions you participated in successes, correct? Why the sudden backhanded praises, boy? Although, to be sure, the brilliant medals on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Cadopia. But now I am the only one who owns this particular medal. Thanks for incriminating yourself. In that case, the only person it could be who is sitting in this car is you. How do you figure that? By the medal captured here in this footage. It is clearly the same exact medal as the one on your chest. What? Ugh. What happened to his face? This is how it will be, but I won't look back. For this is the path that I have chosen. You have moved me with your devotion to this case, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me? It's almost looking possible, isn't it? I like how he has just a totally different set of animations now. Alright, I'm just gonna save, so I have no idea when it's gonna spring another question on me. For the lot of you who have come this far, it looks like I just might lose our little game this time. You might lose the game this time? You don't get another round, Mr. Ambassador. Is that a fact? Very well, I've decided to confess and admit my guilt. You're going to confess? And I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result. What the? Regarding the Damas 2 murder, I admit it. I did it out of self-defense. You're claiming it was justified self-defense? Damas 2 attacked me, and I felt that my life was in danger. If I hadn't done what I did, I might be the one you found dead instead of him. What a pathetic performance. I'm not giving you one. Wow, you two really know how to laugh at inappropriate times. If you wish to claim it was justified self-defense, then we will need some evidence. It's always the evidence with you, isn't it? But if that's what you require, I'll provide it. That man left a mark on me when he attacked. What? I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is proof that it was in self-defense. I'm an old man, and sometimes I don't pay enough attention when I should. But Damas 2 didn't have a single weapon on his body. Hold on, it's nothing to get worked up over, because I hid the weapon. You hid it? I'm sorry, but as you know, a murder is a murder, even if it's in self-defense, and I couldn't let it become public, seeing as how I am an ambassador. This is the weapon you seek, my special bonsai trimming shears. Ooh. Oh, it's covered in blood. He was trembling quite badly during our struggle, but that's when he grabbed the shears that were sitting in my office and attacked. So you see, it was an act of self-defense. Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth? Since he has both the wound and the weapon that caused it, it's enough to declare it so. Okay. No way! Oh, which reminds me, I guess there is still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all of that is my secretary's doing. I had no knowledge it was going on. Stop spewing nonsense! You're trying to throw my investigation under the bus in your desperation. If you want to get real honest, everything in this case can be connected to you. The murder of Damas II was done in self-defense? In my trials, no man escapes his crime alive. Perhaps so, if you were my opponent in court. However, there is one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten. And what is that? That's what you mean. Extraterritoriality. That's a hard word to say. That's right. This embassy sits somewhere as effectively Alabastian soil. So any trial that is to be held will be held in Alabast. Therefore, the crime I just admitted to will never be tried in your courts. Agent Lang, what is Interpol's stance on this? Agents investigate. That's our job. The judgment of people who have confessed to their crime. That's the court's job. Grr. And I've already confessed to all of my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritorial rights. These rights are effective, even on your country's soil. Therefore, no matter where a crime may take place, I will never stand trial in one of your courts. That arrogance, and your expression. That's nothing like the face of someone who is ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me you have your own country's judicial system eating right out of your hands. These crimes you will speak so seriously of. To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. You may chase me out of this embassy with your actions, but it's no big deal. Alabast has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you would accomplish is you would change the backdrop of our little game. These two layers of protection that extraterritoriality provides him. This is why he is one of those who cannot be brought to court. You see now, don't you? I live in a whole different world than you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and fetch your eviction papers. Is there nothing we can do? Wow. That's not how extraterritoriality works? Ah, okay. Good. Because it sounds stupid. We finally reached the end of ending part 1. We'll play a little bit longer. What's the time? Yeah. I'll just drink some water. March 15, 2:11 AM, Theatrum Neutralis Lobby. I can't believe it, sir. Extraterritoriality. Yes, and there is nothing we can really do about that. In the end, we didn't have enough authority to bring him to justice. I can't believe that even though we know he's the boss, we can't lay a finger on him. I know. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Sorry to skip out on you, but I've got some business to take care of. If we can't even give an evil guy like him a slap on the wrist, then what the heck were laws created for? What good are they? If the law can't help us, then I'll go as the Yatagarasu and take care of this myself. Don't you dare! Mr. Edgeworth? Sorry, that was a bit too harsh. I know how you feel, sir. We're trying to take on an ambassador, after all. And he did tell us earlier to get out of the theatre. This is kinda their country, I guess. But I feel like I've been slapped across the face for just doing my job. What am I going to do? Should I retreat for now and formulate a better plan of attack? Come on, everyone. We can't give up yet. Okay. I want you to think about something for a sec. We've never let up for even a second, and as long as we don't stop investigating, we might find the rotten treasure hidden here. She's right. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. You're right, Kay. Very well, let us reopen the investigation and see what we find. Come on, Kay. Right behind you. Okay, then I'll go check out the bow a bit more, sir. And I have something that I need to investigate further in Alabast. Wait, are you allowed to go there? I thought she wouldn't be allowed anymore. Now then, before I gather any more information, I should do a bit of housekeeping. Passion Flowers data erased. Okay, that's the only one we're getting rid of. Alright. Ambassador Alba seemed agitated over something. I wonder why. There are two special circumstances that surround the ambassador. First, the embassy itself has extraterritorial rights. If something happens on Alabastian soil, we are unable to legally prosecute him. Cool! It sounds like embassies are the perfect place to steal whatever you want. And Murder de Mars too run a smuggling operation and make counterfeit bills, apparently. But I thought all the counterfeiting was done by Mr. Koshin in Babao. Yes, he apparently used the embassy's coupon printing press to do it. But it's the same story over there anyway. Babao also has extraterritorial rights. Which brings me to my next point, the ambassador's extraterritorial rights. Those rights are effective even in our own country. Really? No matter what happens, he can never be tried in our courts. He retains some very special rights indeed. Basically, no matter what wrongs he may commit, we can't bring him to trial here. So I guess we really don't stand a chance, do we? We might stand a chance if we can somehow nullify either one of his special rights. Sure, I'll get right on that. The power of friendship part of the case. Why does the embassy have a coupon printing press? Because they love coupons. They give out so many coupons. We've come too far to give up. We must expose Ambassador Alba's misdeeds, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, of course. And we've got to find a way to steal the truth and get it out of there. For my father's sake. Yes, and we will. The reason for Ambassador Alba's nervousness must still be here somewhere. Furthermore, I need to pin down exactly what happened in here. I'll start by thoroughly examining this room for any information I can find. This ending is going to take a while, very lengthy. Okay. This case is quite long. Mr. Edgeworth, if you don't pay attention, Ambassador Alba is going to get away. Yes, I know. Now hurry up and do that swing thing you always do. I have no idea what you're talking about. What? You don't? Oh, come on, you know what I'm talking about. That thing you do. Are you talking about logic? Yes, that's it. So hurry up and let's swing already. Alright. To be honest, it's been a bit hard to connect everything up until now just by looking. However, I should be able to piece things together if I take another look at my leads. Perhaps now is the time to use logic and reason my way to the truth. Alright, anything we can show to her? Nope. Yeah, don't think we can show her anything. Oh, what's this? Looks like a painting? This was taken just before the two ambassadors gave their bouquets to the Steel Samurai. Wait, is it just my imagination? Or is there something in this picture that I've seen before? Is there? There's that troublemaker, standing there smack in the centre making two peace signs. Wow, the Steel Samurai stands out even more than the two ambassadors in this picture. Oh hey, the person playing the Steel Samurai is one of your friends, right? No, I have no idea who he is. Wait, but you just said he. You knew which gender he was, so you must know him, right? I beg that you please refrain from talking about that person with me ever again. I love how that's such a sore spot. I can't believe he was pretending to be a harmless old grandpa. Talk about deceptive. I don't suppose anyone expected him to change that drastically. I bet he's thinking of something evil behind that cheery smile. Okay, please try to remain calm and focused on the here and now. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I got all worked up there. Well, the only way we're going to be able to steal the truth is if we keep on investigating. It appears to be a bouquet of Persian cyclamens and roses. Wow, you even know the exact species? I never would have figured you for an expert on flowers. Yeah. It's all because of those flowers that old lady sends me every month. Just look at me, I sound like some sort of botanist. So, what exactly is this yellow flower here? That one. I'm not sure. What? You don't know? As far as I can recall, I've never seen a flower like this before. But I feel as though I've seen this shape somewhere before. It seems that lilies are at the centre of this bouquet, with an accent of chamomile. Wow! I can totally smell the wonderful fragrance. Okay, this is just a picture. Ah, look, I know that. But it's nice to imagine things once in a while, you know? Where's your sense of empathy? If you can smell the fragrance of flowers from a photo, that's more like a hallucination. You don't have to be mean about it. Let's just drop this before it's in full bloom. Yeah, I'm quite liking Kay actually. She's pretty cool. Mr. Polano has a really great smile, don't you think? I bet he was really happy that they were going to become Cadopia again. Perhaps. But instead, he became the greatest victim in today's case. An ambassador like him, who is always thinking of his country, is really to be admired. Yeah, although this happened, I hope they'll be able to reunite the country someday. I hope so as well. But for that to happen, we need to solve this case first. We need to see to it that those who would harm the new Cadopia are locked away. And we will! Yeah. So this looks like the Cadopia. Oh, it's the knife. It's totally the knife. I'll come back to that one. Finish looking around the rest of the place first. Flowers were sent by a variety of people and businesses to celebrate the goodwill event. Even the Steel Samurai received some flowers from the ambassadors. There are so many bouquets here, it's like a wedding ceremony. I believe the flowers for those are for a slightly different reason. What do you mean? This event was supposed to be like a wedding between Elabas and Babao, right? Actually, I believe they're more in a state of divorce. Okay then, this event was supposed to be their remarriage ceremony. I suppose you could call it that. It's a backdrop they used in the Steel Samurai stage show today. I love the climax of that show. Steel Samurai Sushi Slice. That was the first time I'd seen that special move. But, well, the Gem and Ninja stage show's climax was much better, of course. Oh, is that a fact? That scene where he sang for Princess Misola and gave her those hair sticks? I could totally feel the love there in my heart. Perhaps the Gem and Ninja is just more popular with female audiences? Hello. On the orders of Ambassador Alba, no one is allowed into Alabast. But I thought a lady with a whip passed through here not too long ago. She is from Interpol and had the proper paperwork. So, while I was reluctant, I had to let her in. Heh, sounds like Francisca alright. Besides, if I didn't, that whip of hers... Yup, definitely Francisca. That exchange makes you wonder why Ace Attorney has never done anything with synesthesia? What's that? Can't look at the flags. Yeah, what else can we re-inspect? Not that. Global Studios. This doesn't look new. Basically, sensors jumbled? Huh. I haven't heard that concept before. You can see the Babylonis embassy, which is undergoing major renovations. From room expansions to garden upkeep, it looks like a lot of construction is going on. Mr. Polano said that all this work is really hard on him. He said that since Mr. Cochin passed away, that maybe I could work part-time for him. She got really chummy with that ambassador. What can I say? I just have a good nose for money. Hello, and welcome to the Embassy of Babao. I'm sorry, but I don't really need to enter your country at this time. Right now, for a limited time here at the Babylonis Embassy, we're offering the very special Experience the Terrifying Fire's Ashes tour. So how about it? Shall I sign you up? We're fine, thanks. We have an investigation to run. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. What if I deduce the wrong thing? We get new dialogue here? Probably not, but might as well try. Could this piece of evidence be related to this photo somehow? Huh? Well, nope. I don't think it's related at all. Even though I know she's right, she could have at least tried to humour me a little. And let's get that health back. We're about to get a bunch of health from finishing this investigation, but I don't know how long this investigation is going to be, so... I'm going to play it safe. Yeah, that looks like the handle of the knife. Babao's national symbol is the butterfly, and Alabast is the flower. It would appear that someone is employing the old hide a tree in a forest trick. What are you mumbling to yourself about? Wait, what? The handle on this knife? Ah! Yes, it's the handle that was supposed to be on the blade that killed Mr. Cochin. The weapon that killed him was carried through the Theatre Neutralis, in the very bouquet Ambassador Alba was carrying. The flower motif. It looks like one of the flower petals is missing. Ooh, and take a look at the weapon itself. It's missing the exact same pedal. Then the knife in this photo is most definitely the same as this murder weapon. Alright. Let's see. Updated the knife. Blade determined to be alabastrian. The flower motif's petals are separate. Alright, do we get anything new for inspecting? Striking flower ornament. No, nothing new. Bum, 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 bum. The fact that the steel samurai is bunny earring them is extremely relevant. After all, scissors beats paper. Therefore, he wanted to cut the diplomat's papers by stabbing him. Alright, we got... Oh my gosh, we have 3 whole pages. Ambassador Alba's wound. Mr. Alba claims it's proof he was stabbed by Damas too, so it was justified defense. Okay. Commemorative photo taken at Theatrum Neutralis. The murder weapon can be seen in Mr. Alba's bouquet. Alright. Let's check out our logic bin. Renovations. Well, yeah, we've still got renovations in here. Babley's embassy undergoing renovations. It's something to do with the counterfeiting op. I'm gonna save before I touch any of this. Oh yeah, what game over will we get here? I assume Alba will just show up and kick us out, probably. Worth checking though. Agitated Alba renovations. Which of these would we connect first? I don't think it's probably going to be these two. I'll try connecting these two. So we can get it wrong and see what happens with the game over. Come on. Yeah, it doesn't want to move over. Mind Palace technique? Oh, yep. Alba walks over. Are you still here? Are you still trying to force me to admit? You people have no reason to still be here. Now, please leave. I'm afraid I can't do that. If you won't leave on your own, I will have no choice but to force you out. Hold it! I don't believe we'll be meeting again. However, I will pray for your success. We're not through here yet. Grr. Is this it? No. We got thrown out. Got slightly different dialogue though. Oh, you're talking about the logic mechanic. Representation of the Mind Palace technique. Okay. Yeah, I'll try pairing... I'll pair Alba with the renovations. Nope. Nope. It's wrong. Did Alba know Edgy's health bar was empty? Can you see the health bar too? Apparently. Apparently. Alright, we've got Cochin's counterfeiting up. We know that the counterfeit bills were printed using the embassy's press, but the necessary materials, such as the Babyliss ink and paper, must have been hidden in a secure location. But what do you think would have happened if the renovation had begun? Well, he probably had to find a better hiding place, or get rid of it all. Right. So we can assume that the renovation was the cause of the plate and bills disposal, and the reason Mr. Cochin was killed as the ringleader of the smuggling operation. Based on what we know, who do you think was the one with the most to gain? I wasn't really paying attention to that. It was Polano. The answer is Ambassador Polano. You really think so? But he was the one who had his embassy's offices burned down. And he lost his secretary. Do you really think he profited from any of that? Now that you mention it, perhaps not. She's right. Ambassador Polano has gained absolutely nothing from the events of tonight. With that being the case, there really is only one man who gained from everything. It was the dead man! The answer is Mr. Cochin himself. He was the smuggling ring's boss, right? So maybe he had a lot to gain because of all the money? But in the end, he was killed. It's kind of sad, really. I suppose there is some truth in that. No matter how much he may have profited in life, he really didn't gain much in his death. With that being the case, there really is only one man. Reset the game. Yep, the cat's biggin'. She's being cute. They can hear her meowing. Yeah, you come over here, sweetie. Aw. She wants her dinner. Is it her dinner time yet, though? Close. It's close to her dinner time. Susato is from the Great Turnabout games. Okay. Nice. Hello, sweetie. What, you gonna jump in my lap? I mean, you can try if you want. Up you go, sweetie. She's not gonna. She never does. The ink and paper, hidden. Okay, I'm glad I got to reread that. I didn't really follow it the first time. It's the one person who has been erasing all evidence of the smuggling operation. From both embassies, the co-conspirator who is mopping up, Ambassador Alba. Ambassador Alba had a very strong motive to kill Manny Cochin. Alba could conveniently place all of the guilt for the smuggling onto Cochin. Yeah? Got a new lead. Now put those two together. Woo! The cause of Ambassador Alba's agitation, the rotten treasure we may find, and the motive for killing Mr. Cochin. Miss Yu said it herself that she didn't kill anyone tonight. If we were to take her words at face value, then the reason for the ambassador's nervousness can only be one thing. He didn't want us to discover the real circumstances under which Mr. Cochin was killed. Then you mean Ambassador Alba is the real killer? But I thought the two of them were friends. Maybe they were, but what if Mr. Cochin was the one who first betrayed their friendship? Oh, I get it. Wasn't Mr. Cochin pushing really hard for Mr. Polano to be ambassador after the reunification? Yes, and that was the real reason why he wanted to steal Alabast's Primaduck statue. So Mr. Cochin hired Damas too to go steal it for him. But when Ambassador Alba found out what he was up to, he killed Mr. Cochin? It is definitely a possibility at this point. Those two really were thinking of no one but themselves. But the question now is, how did he do it? Ambassador Alba was in Alabast. But Mr. Cochin's body was discovered in Babao, right? Right, and that is what we must solve next. I believe we now understand why Ambassador Alba was so nervous and agitated. It must have something to do with where Mr. Cochin was killed. A place where the Alabastian ambassador was likely to meet the Babalese Mr. Cochin. The place where Ambassador Alba happened to have committed the murder is... like the question mark there, as if he's not sure. Leighton Brothers Mystery Room. You play a murder investigator poking around 3D environments before working to poke holes in various testimonies. Okay, that does sound cool. It's mobile only? That's a shame. Does sound pretty cool though. It was in Alabast. Take that. This area is rather suspicious, don't you think? You really think so? Because I don't see anything odd about it at all. I guess it's not related after all. Mr. Edgeworth, if you keep doing that, Ambassador Alba is going to get away. Come on, let's see if we can't get a hold of that treasure known as the truth. Agreed. Let's see what we can find. He's just watching... Ambassador Alba's just like watching our health bar. Alright. Logic again. I have to do this one again. That's fine. So where was he killed? So the guards said Francisca was the only one who crossed both country borders. But maybe they didn't include the ambassadors? So did he kill him over in the other country? Very strong motive to kill, yep. So if he killed him at the Theatrum Neutralis though, how the heck did he get the body over there? Yeah, I'm gonna save. Oh, we need some battery power. Running low on battery. Yeah. I'll plug it in. There we go. No music for this section. Say it. I believe you now understand why you're so nervous. I'm going to save again here. That was a lot of text I just scrolled through. Just in case I get this wrong. My guess is he crossed over into Babao? But where is the Gem and Ninja stage show? That was in Babao, right? Yeah. Oh no, that's in the neutral area, isn't it? Not sure actually. Is it here or is it here? If it was here, how did he get the body past the guards? That's the question. And this would have been easier?
Take that!
Take that. Rather suspicious. Nope. I guess it's Theatrum Neutralis then. Unless they're counting this area as being separate.
Take that!
The only place that makes sense is here, at the Theatrum Neutralis. What? Here? The Goodwill event was being held here today, correct? So the only place that the both of them would have been in is here. But if that's the case, then everything changes. This theatre isn't actually Alabastian land. So that wipes out one of those extraterritorial rights he has. It makes logical sense, in which case it is a reason for us to investigate further. So what should we check out? Let's see. I believe we should check the immigration records for both Alabast and Babao post-haste. Babao's records should be easy to obtain, however the problem will be Alabast. Alright, so I'm not sure how he did it. We'll have to figure that out, I suppose. I wonder if they would allow us to see their records, despite the order to vacate. I'm already one step ahead of you, Miles Edgeworth. Francisca. I have here the security footage from both Alabast and Babao. You would do well to take a look at its contents. Nice. You move fast. A Von Karma strives to be perfect in every way. It's not in my nature to keep on retreating like this. I took the liberty of looking over the Babao investigation reports as well. From now on, you will make no excuse to back down or say that we can't solve this case. I'm sorry about earlier. We won't be beaten. Because my cute little subordinate is going to try his very best, isn't he? Hasn't she patronized me enough already for one lifetime? So this video contains footage from Alabast's immigration screening area. I really hope there's something in here that we can use. Okay. Which minute's footage should I examine? The first. Oh wow, I see. This is going to be a whole thing. Oh, I don't remember all these posters. I wonder what they're of. I do remember a bunch of these hanging in that hallway. I believe they were all related to tourism and sightseeing. In Alabast? Impossible. If it were Babao, I could believe that. However... No, they were posters promoting tourist traps in this country. And I believe they were mostly of Gate Waterland. I see. So they were targeted at the embassy's staff. Dun, dun, dun. Nothing around here. Oh. It's the door leading into the Theatrum Neutralis. I tried so hard to get through this door, you know, but I just couldn't get in. But it felt so great when I finally was allowed to go through there. You know what I really wanted to do though? I wanted to try sneaking my way in. At least nothing seems out of the ordinary with the door. This man is the immigration officer who is on duty. Okay, cat, I will feed you soon, okay? I'll end the stream soon because my throat's getting sore anyways. And I'll feed the cat. She's very persistent. He's making a really scary face, even though there's no one around to see it. I wonder if he's just the grumpy sort, although that wouldn't do much for tourism. Hey, he smiled a little just now. I wonder if he recalled something funny. Well, even if he did, he still has that hard glare in his eyes. It would appear that he was born with stern-looking eyes. Rather fitting for someone in the security business, I'd say. Sounds like a certain prosecutor that we're playing as. 5:21 PM. That's just after the end of the Steel Samurai stage show. Correct. We were still inside the theatre itself at around this time. All because Mr. Edgeworth wouldn't get out of his seat. I wanted to show the actors my appreciation for a bit and soak in the atmosphere. Yeah, with your eyes closed and a complete lack of motion except for some breathing. That's good. Oh, you thought that was your cat? Alright, I think we'll check out the other two next time, I reckon. I shall end the stream for today. So, I don't know how many more streams we're going to need. Maybe another 2. It sounds like this last segment is rather long. But we'll see how much we can get done next time. Maybe I'll try and start the stream earlier? I don't know. Well, anyone to host today? Thank you everyone for watching. We're getting there slowly. I'll host Dark Twin. She's playing Slay the Spire, which is a pretty cool game. /raid Dark Twinge. Long ending. Okay, yeah, I might need another 2 streams then at this pace. Alright, thank you all for watching. I'll see you later. See yous.